I'm Claudia Kay and welcome back to my channel. I got some updates. Every box and padded envelope has gone out. So everything from my sale a few weeks ago has been invoiced, paid for, and has been shipped. The last of the boxes went out today. In total, I shipped 30 boxes and 2 padded envelopes. So thank you guys. That was a lot of hard work. But it cleared a lot of stuff out. So I really appreciate everybody that purchased from me. That was amazing. Garage sale didn't go as well. The first day I had so much stuff, I couldn't even get it all out. And Dad had built some makeshift tables and there just wasn't room to put it all out. By day 2, I think by lunchtime, and I only did it 2 days, I was able to get everything out, but people just weren't buying. And you'd get 2 types of people that would slow down. One was the moms looking for baby stuff, which obviously didn't have any baby stuff. And then they just go on. And the other were older men looking for tools, which Dad had put out a couple of big things, but not tools. And so those people didn't even stop. And then the people that did stop, it just seemed like everybody was pinching their pennies. And most of my tables were $1 an item. And people still were not buying. I still have an entire tote of swans. Didn't sell any of the clothes. They were all size medium and nobody was a size medium that stopped by. Didn't sell like any of the curtains. I had a whole huge tote full of curtains. Did sell quite a bit of the kitchenware, like the regular everyday use kind of stuff. And sold some of the vintage, but none of the higher price stuff except the uranium plates. So now I've got 20 plus totes of stuff in the garage that has to be transferred into boxes so that it can be donated. And the one place we were going to donate to, all of the housewares and clothes and curtains, things like that, they don't have room for donations and wanted to know if we could hold it until October, I think, which we can't. So it's all gonna get donated to Volunteers of America, most likely, because at least the money stays in the community and doesn't go into a billionaire's pocket like if you donate to Goodwill. So that's kind of the plan with that. I've got to keep working on that this week. So that'll use up the rest of my empty box stash that I had and getting all of that out of here. And then my daughter's going to store the empty totes. She has a space for all the empty totes. I've just got to get her down here to pick those up. But I also did get to go to Lincoln Highway Byway. And if you've been here with me for all of the years, you know every year this happens in Ohio. It is a garage sale that goes across the state of Ohio that follows the old Lincoln Highway. And my niece and I have done this ever since her mom passed away at the beginning of 2021. So we have gone every year since starting in 2021. But she's married now, and I suspect they'll probably be having a baby within the next year. And this may have been our last year getting to go. So even though I was struggling physically, I was determined to go. So we didn't go and do all day like we used to. We did half day Thursday, half day Friday. And it was interesting garage sailing this year because there was no colored glass anywhere to be found. No colored glass. No vintage jewelry. None of the little like vintage tchotchke collectible type things. None of that. And so we did stop at quite a few baby garage sales where normally we'd skip those because her sister, my other niece, is about to have a baby in November. And she already has one that's about to turn 1 year old. So we did stop at a lot of baby garage sales, but some of those were so overpriced. So this was kind of the right time for me to get out of reselling because there's just not items available in this area. I remember a couple years ago when Daniel went through that, you just couldn't source anything in his area. Well, it's finally reached my area too. You just cannot find vintage right now in my area. Either people are keeping it because they're collecting it, or they are trying to sell it on eBay and not putting it in their garage sales. But I did get a couple things I'm going to show you. My main goal, because obviously I just got rid of 90% of what I own, right? So I was not looking for me for things. My main goal was to find jewelry for my daughter. And we did find maybe like 5 different paparazzi resellers who were selling this stuff anywhere from 50 cents to $2 just to get rid of it. And, you know, paparazzi, it's not fabulous jewelry, but it's perfect for a 25-year-old's jewelry jar. So here's where we're at with her jewelry jar. I can't show you everything individually because I don't want her watching this video and seeing this is going to be her Christmas jar. So we're about halfway full. So that was my main goal. Obviously reached that goal. And then I'll show you a couple of the boring things I got myself. I found a pair of shoes that I'm hoping won't hurt my feet. They were Skechers with the, the nice insole, barely worn, $4. So I did get those. The heel might be too high for me. We will see. But $4 for a pair of Skechers, yes, barely worn Skechers. And I cannot remember, it was under $5, but I can't remember how much it was. But I got a Fossil purse. Under $5. It's going to be the perfect fall purse. And my fall purse I'd had the last few years completely fell apart and I had to toss. And then the purse I had been using was wearing a hole in it, so I'd gotten rid of it. So I had space to get one purse. So I did. I love it. It's going to be perfect. I'm super excited about that. Then I did get my sister something. She and her family always do a big Christmas thing and play games. Just her and her immediate family. This is the sister I was living with. So I got her Cards Against Christmas. So that'll be fun. And then for myself, I did get a few things. But I'll show you what I got, right? Now, if you remember, I was starting to collect the little vintage souvenir pieces for every state. I thought about getting rid of these and not doing that, but I thought, you know what? That is so fun. So I'm still going to do it. And we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to do all 50 states before I run out of room to keep them, but if I can keep them small. So these are the 2 I already had. And I found this stick pin. And it's probably not going to focus on it, but it is Pennsylvania 1980. And yes, 1980, even though it feels like it was 20 years ago, is actually vintage now. So now we've got Iowa, Alaska, Pennsylvania, and Washington, D.C. And I paid $0.25 for this, you guys. Now I do collect these tiny little plates. So this one, I might actually hang on my wall with the other ones. I have room for, I don't know, like 6 more of these up there. But yeah, 25 cents. And I don't remember how much I paid for the stick pin. I think that she grouped all of this stuff together, and so we're talking $0.25 maybe for everything. So I also got these for myself. This one is so cute. It's a horse and buggy. Or horse and carriage. I did get a bracelet for myself because there were 2 of them, and I put one in my daughter's jar and I kept one. But I had a whole handful of stuff at this one garage sale And she actually lives in Pennsylvania now. We go every year for Highway Byway. The first year in 2021, the stuff was so completely overpriced. But she had a ton of colored glass, but it was retail. And I may have bought something for myself that year, but I did not buy for resale that year. The next year, I bought an apron for my mom that year. I mean, she's super friendly. We loved going there. Lots and lots and lots of stuff to look at, but it wasn't the right price. Well, apparently, because she now lives in Pennsylvania, she wants to get rid of everything. So I got all of that, plus the little figures I'm going to show you, plus some jewelry for $5 for all, $3 for all of it. So the stones are AB stones. I mean, it's not vintage, but super cute. Got that for me. And then look at this little half doll. And see, I've got room on my miniature shelf because I'm going to show you why I've got room. And then 2 Wade Whimsies that I didn't have yet. So, got those. And what's crazy is when I moved into my mom's, I had 3 acrylic shelves I had put up on the one side, and then I had this really cool vintage metal shelf thing on the other side of my bed. And so I kind of mirrored them, even though the acrylic shelves didn't match. Those stupid acrylic shelves have fallen off the wall. They did not stay. I hung them exactly the way with the hangers that they've fallen off the wall. But walked into this garage sale and found this. This is the exact one I've got hung up already. The one I've got hung up is that early 1960s blue. So I am going to, it's a little bit rusty and it's very dirty, but it was $1. It was $1. And so I'm going to get Rust-Oleum and spray paint it pink. And then I'll have those matching on either side of the wall for all of my little trinket things, like the half doll head. I was so excited. I found this at the end of the first day, and this is joy of finding this item carried me through the next day where I hardly found anything. But I was so excited because it's got the scroll work, it's got the towel bar right here. It's identical to the one I already own. So exciting. So got a little project, but I could not be happier about that. Super excited. Then I just got a few more things. So these 3 books are part of series that I already own. I always look for series that I already own that I'm missing books of at garage sales because it's way cheaper, because paperback books are now $9, $10. Let me see how much this one was. $9.99 in 2023. This one was $9.99 in 2023. So, and this one was $19.58 originally. So I do look for books that are in series I already own. I don't have a lot of room, so I'm not trying to buy a bunch of new books, but I found Howl's Moving Castle, which I looked up the ebook of this thinking, well, I'll just get the ebook. It was like $10 for the ebook. So it's not in the best of shape. I don't plan to keep it, but not only did I find Howl's Moving Castle, I found the other 2 books in the series. House of Many Ways and The Castle in the Air. I've already read this one, and as a matter of fact, I've already read this one. So this one will get passed on, and I will read those 2 and then pass those on as well. I won't be keeping them. I paid $2 for this one, but $1 or less for all the rest of them. And I really like the series, and it was in really, really good shape. So I did pay $2 for this, but the rest were all $1 or less on the books. And the last 2 things I got, because I do have a record player, It's The World of Johnny Cash, and it's a deluxe 2-record set. And the record, there's no scratches on the records. They look in really good condition. And then I got Air Supply. Air Supply Greatest Hits. So that was my haul. So it was little, but I'm very pleased with the good start that I got on the jar. I still got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get these totes emptied, and I've still got totes in my car of things. So I have pictures and scrapbooking stuff, which I may be doing some of that on here, so you guys get to see some of that. I've got my beading stuff that still needs to be organized. I've got to find space for. So I'm not 100% moved in. I'm not 100% gotten rid of all of this stuff yet. I keep plugging away at it, but like yesterday, I just didn't even get out of my pajamas. I hurt too much. I hadn't slept the night before, and so I just had to rest yesterday. But today I got up, I printed the labels, I got right out, I got those to UPS and the post office and got everything shipped. So just keep chipping away at everything that needs to be done. But I do have some ideas about where the channel is going to go after here. Like I want to catalog my uranium collection. So I thought maybe I could pull a few pieces at a time, show you guys how I look up things. I just want a record for my daughter someday. And I know prices change over the years. And so while it's super collectible right now, it might not be in 15, 20 years. Or 50 when I kick the bucket at 100. So that's one of the things I want to do. I want to get back to junk journaling. I haven't done that in months and months. I want to scrapbook family pictures. I've got an idea about what I want to do for that. Back when the kids were little, my ex-husband, at the time husband, grandmother, so my kid's great-grandmother, she did not live in the city. So every year I would make her a scrapbook, of how the kids had grown over the year. And when she passed away, I was hoping he'd give those back to me, and he did not. So I've never actually, every time I scrapbook for somebody else. So I don't have any scrapbooks for me. So I kind of have an idea of what I want to do with them. And I'm thinking I want, instead of, 1998, Seth is born, and then go from there throughout his childhood. Because it's for me and for my memories, I think I just want to pull my favorite pictures of like Seth, that's my oldest son, and just kind of put them into a book artistically. And maybe put a date on it if I know what it was specifically, because a lot of these pictures got printed, no dates on them. And then I get discouraged and I'm trying to track down date. I don't want to do all of that. So I want to make books for me, scrapbooks for me, that are my favorite pictures of the people that I love that I can look at as I get older. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Also, I hate my handwriting. So I don't like writing down stuff about what the pictures are about. So maybe lazy scrapbooking is what we're going to call it. So I want to do that. And then the beading, I've never done that before, but I've gotten some really nice beads when I've been thrifting over the last few years. So maybe that's something I'm going to do now. We will see. But that is all for now. Thanks for listening to me prattle on. The channel's not going away. The name might change. We will see. And, but I am done reselling. I'm done. It's all done. And it was a relief to carry that last 18-pound box into the post office this morning and drop it off. You guys are amazing for all of the items that you purchased from me. I packaged up more than 200 individual items for this sale. between the 4 mystery boxes that I sold and then everything, and like some of them were 6 glasses in a set, so that was 6 individual items I packaged up, and some were like you had bought 3 of the little salt dips for one price, but that was 3 items I had to package up. So if it didn't get to you safely, if something broke, please let me know immediately, so that I can refund you. But I triple pack everything. It gets 2 layers of small bubble wrap and then a layer of large bubble wrap. And then everything gets cushioned in the box. And then after it is taped shut, it gets a violent shake. And if anything moves, I untape the box and I repack it. So hopefully I will continue on with my track record of things arriving intact. If not, let me know. But thank you again for really successful sale and helping me go out of business. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm looking forward to where the future takes us. Bye, guys.